If you have been teaching English for years and you know you should be better than B2 level, but still you feel stuck, you feel insecure, this video is for you. Because after all, here, I don't just show you the problem, I don't just point out the problem, but I actually provide a solution. You'll walk out of this video with practical tools to start changing right now. I'm Deborah, and here in this channel, we turn teachers into excellent professionals. So if you want to speak, teach, and position yourself as a C1 level teacher, subscribe, because this is what we do here. Okay, problem number one, repetition without evolution. You use the same language in class. You use the same language to explain the same grammar in class. You use basically the same vocabulary and the same words and structures over and over. Do you think that's really fluency? Well, let's be honest. That's just maintenance. You are keeping the same level. You are keeping the same level of complexity in terms of ideas that you can convey. And this keeps you stuck. Now look at this sentence. I think this is important. That's B2 level. Simple, plain, flat. Now try this one. It's worth noticing that this aspect plays a key role in terms of environment protection. I don't know. Then you add the subject you were discussing. Then we are moving on into something more elaborate. Then we are going from simply communicating to actually conveying a stronger message, something that depicts who you really are as a person in English. Now I will give you a practical tip. I want you to pause this video now and start noticing the sentences and the structures that you use often in your classes. What do you use? What do you often teach your students? How can you upgrade that? How can you work on that to make that more advanced? Starting from what you have right now, how can you improve that? Use what you already do as a springboard to something greater. Problem number two, studying without strategy. So you listen to videos, you read short texts, you listen to music, watch series, but you have no strategy. There is no clear path that you're following. Even though this can help you not to get totally rusty, it's not going to help you evolve. It's not going to help you reach the next level. In order to reach the next level, you need to do things deliberately. You need to know exactly what you're doing, the reason why you're doing them, and how to actually tackle the points that you need to develop. After all, if you don't have a clear purpose, it's just like preparing for a marathon by running around the block. You're never going to get anywhere. So first thing is the D in the DEEP method, diagnose. Ask yourself, where am I right now? For real? Which is my real level? What are my real struggles? What do I still need to develop? Is it mostly vocabulary? Is it mostly grammar? Is it mostly pronunciation? Is it my writing, my speaking, my teaching? What is it that you need right now? Reflect for a moment on your own development as a teacher and as an English speaker. And from that on, you'll start designing the path that you need to follow in order to reach the next level. But of course, you may have a lot of things you want to develop, but they don't happen all at once. So what I want you to do is grab a piece of paper and write down one aspect that you want to develop this month. What is it? Deborah, I want to work on my pronunciation. Okay, there are techniques, shadowing techniques to help you with that. Deborah, I want to work with grammar awareness. Fine, so you will select 2 days a week to look at grammar more deeply. I want to develop my writing skills. Great. So once a week, you're going to sit down and you're going to write something. So focus on what you actually need. What is it that you need to develop right now? If you're not sure, of course, there is always something you can find to help you in one of my groups. Problem number 3 is teaching without evolving. So you're only focusing on your students, but what about your own development? Okay, maybe because you are a teacher, you already have no, I'm sorry, but you have an adequate level of English, but adequate, it's not enough. Adequate is not enough if you want to be great. If you want to have great results, if you want to charge premium prices, if you want to be respected, if you want to be seen as someone with authority. You need more than that. Just okay is not enough. What have you been doing to actually get there? To speak and teach confidently, to feel that what you're doing is really, really worth it, to stop feeling like a fraud. So you actually own it. You have a great command of what to teach. And then you can position yourself as an authority. And that brings a lot of other consequences. It's not just your teaching that gets better, but your positioning gets better, your confidence gets better. You start being valued because you value yourself. You know your worth. And one solution for developing your fluency is by recording yourself. So stop for a moment once a week and talk about a random subject. Choose a subject and talk about that for 2 minutes. It could be related to the previous class you have just finished. It could be about a book you have read. It could be about a video you have watched. Anything. You'll speak for 2 minutes about that specific aspect, that specific topic. And then, of course, sometimes, or more often than not, you're going to run out of words. And when you realize these gaps, you will be able to take action. When you realize what you're struggling with, you will be able to actually sit down, do some research, find resources, and start bridging those gaps in order to have a clearer path as a teacher and as an English speaker. And again, we're not aiming for perfection here. We're aiming for excellence. We're aiming at excellence, right? So forget this idea of being perfect and speaking English just as you speak Portuguese. They are two different languages. They have two different spaces in your mind. They don't occupy the same boxes in your mind. They are stored into different places. So it's only fair that you will not speak English as naturally or as fluently or as emotionally as you speak Portuguese. But that doesn't mean you won't be fluent. That doesn't mean you won't be proficient. That only means that your connection level with two languages, it's different, right? And it's only expected. That's only normal that it's different. But it's not an excuse to settle for anything less than excellence. When you listen to your own recording, pay attention to repetition of words, mispronunciation, hesitation. What are the gaps you need to bridge? What are the structures you need to work on? What are the aspects you need to improve? And then you focus on that, and you can even record a second sample, improving that first version. And that's not something you're going to do once and forget about it forever. You have to do it constantly. Remember, consistency is key. So you do it every week, and there you will feel the development. You will feel the improvement as you go. It's not going to be comfortable, and I cannot promise you that it's going to be comfortable because I know it's not going to be comfortable, but it's something doable. And exposing yourself, showing your vulnerability, even if to you, only to yourself, this is already the first step. You are doing what it takes to become better. And you never become better at something if you are not exposing yourself to that situation, if you're not trying, if you're not actually acting on each single aspect that needs to be acted on. And if you want my help to break this loop, if you want my help to become even more fluent, even more proficient, even more recognized in the market, comment this video here with break the B2 loop, and I'm going to reach out for you. And stay tuned and subscribe to this channel because next week I'll be showing you the studying habits that are sabotaging your development. After all, you're not just a teacher, you are a professional. Let's make sure that your English reflects that.